Last we left the Star Wars front, things weren't going so well for the shills out there. They were having a bit of a moment, a little bit of a meltdown, not exactly taking the news that Disney had not just, forgotten about, put on the back burner Acolyte Season 2, but outright canceled it. It's so hilarious, right? Because there are so many Star Wars projects that have been announced and that are simply out there in the ether. Rian Johnson getting his trilogy, Dan and Dave, the hacks behind the fall of Game of Thrones, still having their movies, Patty Jenkins on and off, Rogue Squadron movie, Taika Waititi having a Star Wars, all of this stuff has been announced previously, and instead of just outright canceling it and trying to move on, Disney just says, oh yeah, we love working with those people, okay, we love Taika, we love Ryan, and everything's gonna be great, all in due time, you'll see their stories come to life, it'll be magic, it'll be fantastic. But they decided to leak the news that, no, dude, Acolyte Season 2, hell no, that ain't happening at all whatsoever. Don't get your hopes up, it is dead, it's in the ground, let's just try to forget this as quickly as possible. But then, of course, the moment that they do that, that wonderful fan base that they cultivated, and this is the perfect example as to why so many of the studios, those entertainment juggernauts that are out there, that have gone whole hog and inserting the DEI rods, the ESG rods, the woke propaganda shafts in every conceivable hole. This is why they're so scared of that audience, because of the backlash that we have seen recently from all of those freaks on social media. But here's the wonderful thing, right? If you want to compare and contrast that spurg out to what has also happened recently with Mr. Beast, if you can just silo that stuff, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, it's not real life, because for as many hilarious freakouts that there have been in regards to the cancellation of the Acolyte Season 2, it hasn't really translated that much to, getting people to actually take action and save for a second season, because the petition to save the Acolyte has already amassed hundreds of signatures from the fans. Literally hundreds of people care, guys, okay? But unfortunately, that petition has now amassed thousands of signators. 13,000 in fact, which if you break down numbers of certain episodes of The Acolyte is actually a larger segment than what actually viewed the show to begin with, because guys, at the end of the day, nobody watched this crap. It was made for you. You guys wanted all of this stuff. Oh, all those chuds, bigots, racists, sexists, and homophobes just couldn't stand that there was a Star Wars show made for us. Well, yeah, it was made for you. Guess what? There's not enough of you to sustain a $180 million Star Wars project. Big shock on that one. That's why you are superfluous. You are only there for Disney to make a quick buck off of. Sucks to suck you're finding it out this way. All of your favorite characters that, because I just rewatched EFAP's full breakdown of, season 1, because it's hilarious. It's like the third time that I've watched it. I remember all of those character names, but I would just love to know how many of those weirdos on social media actually remember the name of X-23's character in the show, okay? How many people remember the guy with the black hairstyle that's only on black men in Hollywood productions that nobody in real life actually has? What was the actual name of the main black lesbian space witch? Does anybody remember any of that stuff? They might remember Soul, they might remember Amandla Stenberg in 2 roles, but what was the name of the little gopher? Oh, right, yeah, you don't remember any of the people in the show, but you just know that you loved the show because it had the gay stuff in it. But you guys loved the show. More than the people that were actually attached to the show loved the show. We haven't heard anything from, the major cast. That could have changed by the time that you guys are seeing this, obviously. I'm recording this Thursday night to go out on Friday. But Manny Jacinto, okay, Chimere, The Stranger, Smilo Ren, however you want to refer to him, well, he broke his silence after the show was canceled on his birthday. And to be fair, okay, don't be too mad. The check already cashed for season 1, and you were one of the better parts of the show. Not for the character that you played, okay? Smilo Ren was cringe to be sure, but the moment that you took the role more seriously, that you were told to actually be a threatening and domineering presence, you're actually pretty good. All things considered, you did a good job. You were believable in the role. Not in the way that Leslye Headland would say, oh my god, we've seen your arms in that cut-off shirt, and oh my god, we just knew that we had to make a bigger role for you. Weird that you were just going to immediately go to objectification, but we've read through your resume before, Leslye, and we know that you are all about picking out the most attractive people. But yeah, he just simply posts one of the final frames from this awful show on Instagram with a heart. And that's it. And he's just going to go on with the rest of his life because he already has roles that he needs to go do. And this is just going to be one of those things that he can go ahead and attach to his resume. You know, said that he did until a point in time comes where perhaps this entire show, and maybe this is why nobody wants to get too terribly attached to this, is because it could end up getting the Willow treatment. It could end up getting memory hold, because here we are, just a couple days removed, and Disney has taken the unprecedented step. It's even stranger, okay? On top of announcing, at least through leakers, which, you know, we know sometime that there are planned leaks that are out there, so you can go ahead and, you know, kind of headcanon at your own leisure what happened here. But after a show like this ends, and we're not even a month removed from the finality of the series, all the merchandise and the branding has been removed from the Disney store, like after the conclusion of Obi-Wan. Because to be completely honest, okay, for as many things as the Acolyte screwed up, it's still the worst piece of Disney produced Star Wars content, okay, 1000%, and hell, it's in the conversation as one of the worst shows ever. But the Obi-Wan show probably did more, okay, arguably did more to ruin what makes Star Wars, ended up destroying more canon, even though it did have more things to praise. But you can still go buy Obi-Wan related merchandise, because of course, and I'm not just talking about prequel stuff, I'm not talking about OT stuff, you can get stuff from that show. You can get K2SO or Jyn Erso sweatshirts if you're so inclined, okay, in anticipation and or season 2, or to pay homage to Rogue One. I'm sure Bad Batch merch is still flying off the shelf, but you can't do that for the Acolyte anymore. Like right now, it is impossible to get. So collector's items that are out there, and I've been enticed, okay? Like I don't have too many collectibles stores, any toy shops in my area, but hey, I'm likely to just go and peruse next time I'm around to see if there's any action figures, there's any Acolyte merch that's out there, and I might pick it up because, well, it's going to be a collector's item. And this show was awfully good to me. But the Acolyte merchandise and branding from Disney Store, removed from Disney Store after announcement of show's cancellation. This is why I'm thinking, man, it's probably not likely, right? Because this show was backed so strongly by Kathleen Kennedy that Leslye Headland touted this as the most important work of art in her entire career. I don't think that it's probable for it to get removed and decanonized from Disney Plus, from the Star Wars lore, but it is possible, okay? I would set it at like a 40% chance, because the only other time that we've seen something like this happen was with Willow, and that was a done and dusted within 6 months. So if this thing is gone by the end of the year, like if nobody's talking about it, nobody's making references to it, everybody's avoiding the Acolyte question here in the next couple of months, I'm gonna go ahead and bump that up to a little bit more than possible, okay? We'll just have to see what the moves at Lucasfilm look like throughout the rest of the year. But the Walt Disney Company removed merchandise for the Acolyte, as well as the entire brand from its Disney store amid the show being canceled. We know all about the viewership and the fact that nobody gave a living crap about any of it from the moment that it debuted to the moment that it finally mercifully ended. But now, ex-user Review Bomb Adam reports that Disney has removed all Acolyte branded merchandise from its Disney store. As can be seen in the above video, where he searches for the Acolyte, it is directed to a page that states no results found for the Acolyte. Furthermore, when he searches for Star Wars and then filters the movie/show, the Acolyte is no longer listed. One can see other shows such as Bad Batch, Ahsoka, The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Rebels, The Clone Wars, and even Young Jedi Adventures. Like, I know Tales of the Jedi is out there, but Young Jedi Adventures? I didn't even know about that one. But of course, Disney would keep up the one that has Young in the title. He also shared that even when you attempt to search by character, and this is why I'm thinking, this is why it's probable, okay, this is why it's about a 40% chance that this thing gets totally and canonically shit-canned. No characters for the Acolyte show up. So you can't search Master Soul. You can't search Jackie. I'm sure you could probably find Vanestra Rowe, but there's going to be no references. The Acolyte, just simply to the High Republic, but to be completely honest, who's actually searching for characters from the High Republic? Are you looking for is it the Vasquez twins? Whatever, there's more cringe lesbians during the High Republic. Disney Store did indeed have Acolyte merchandise on its store before the cancellation was announced. Yes, exactly, and you could see just how awful those designs are, bro. Like, what the Okay, there's one, okay, the first one that you see up there in the top left-hand corner. that kind of looks vaguely Star Wars-ish. Okay, it kind of looks like it could be a movie poster, but the rest of that is just, like, it's really bad. Like, bro, if I was on Naked and Afraid, I wouldn't even wear any of that shit, okay? I would just go ahead and wrap myself in leaves. That shit is trash the whole way around. Like, what is that? Okay, yeah, wear a sweatshirt with 4 losers that either killed themselves, died off-screen, or gave the okay to get force choked out. Oh yeah, and then lied about and blamed it on the guy who was so sad that he yeeted a space witch apparating and trying to turn one of her force babies into the force. Like, yeah, okay, cool. I definitely want to be wearing all that stuff. This was also confirmed in a report by Extra Magic Minutes, which noted that there was a Jedi Master sweatshirt, Star Wars The Acolyte Together We Fight t-shirt, a Star Wars Acolyte t-shirt, and a May shirt. So they had a t-shirt for the bad one, who ended up being, I guess, the neutral one at the end. Well, now she's just kind of the crippled one because she got her mind wiped. Spoiler, nobody's going to watch this crap, and it's going to be gone in a couple months anyways. You don't even have the one for the protagonist for the most of the show, who ends up becoming the titular acolyte at the end of the movie, or not at the end of the movie, or rather standing on the beach with the stranger to give him a stranger later because it's just him and Darth Plagueis in a goofy little cave on unknown planet. Like, what are we doing? The blog even linked out to the products. However, okay, yeah, all of the links are now dead, and one receives an oops, page not found message. There you go, right there. Wreck-It Ralph is going to tell you, yo, bitch, you were actually trying to look for Acolyte merch, huh? What are you, stupid? I'm saving you some money. Furthermore, screenshots from Google also confirm that pieces of merch were indeed on the Disney store, but have since been memory hold. So what do I think about the Acolyte merchandise getting removed from Disney, and the fact that you can't search for any characters, and the fact that they aren't talking word one about this so far? I think it's probable. I don't think it's possible, but I think we're going to be hearing a little bit more about the Acolyte heading in towards the end of the year. And if there's even a little bit of success associated with the Skeleton Crew, if it does even marginally better than the Acolyte, oh, this shit is getting flushed. You better believe it. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.